Hey Nakama, this is Gomu Gomu. It's me. My name is Aldi Yin or Alden, and today for Theory Thursday, we're gonna go over my top 5 devil fruits. Let's get into this now. Just for starters, I'm going to go over them like basic like type information, but at the same time, I'm gonna break into it a little bit, right? So I got a couple that I'm sure are gonna be, because I remember when I posted my tier list, some people didn't like it, so I'm sure this won't be the greatest list ever. But let's get in this, right? So for number 5, I've got Absalom slash Siryu's devil fruit, the Suke nomi, the clear fruit, right? So it's a paramecia type devil fruit that grants its user the ability to become invisible. The fruit was consumed by Absalom first. That's when we first saw it. So you get invisibility. He can share his invisibility with others, allowing them to become invisible as well. And he can extend his powers to objects as well. So this is one of my top 5 devil fruits, not because of like power and I mean, I don't even know what an awakened version would be. Like everybody's invisible or nothing's like, I don't know. But I just like it for the simple fact, like one of my reasons why I put it up at number 5 is because like growing up as a kid, we all like, oh, what would you want to have if you had a superpower? Would it be invisibility? Would it be super strength, super speed? Would you want to fly? So for me, just to have a devil fruit that's dedicated to invisibility, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. So, yeah, the Suke nomi is gonna be my number 5. Okay, so for number 4, it's the caribou Numa nomi Numa yay. The swamp fruit, right? We all know caribou, wet hair caribou. I think his devil fruit, honestly, mixed with the right team, could be one of the most. It's basically like the Yami nomi, which we might talk about later. We might not. I don't know. It's basically like that one for the simple fact that it can absorb things and transform into swamp or marsh like substance. Like it's possibilities could be. I'm not gonna say they are endless because I think caribou is very one track minded, but it's a Logia type devil fruit, right? And it grants him the ability to create, control, and transform into swamp or marsh like substance. Like you get to create a swamp. You can use the swamp to move stealthily and travel through various terrains, utilizing the swamp as a means of transportation. With the right devil fruit user, this could honestly be one of the top like 3 devil fruits in the anime, but it's just caribou sucks, so we're not really worried about it. But I think if we talk about it practically, his devil fruit is basically like a lesser version of the Yami no Mi. So I like I like it. I mean, if people don't agree, that's fine, but I really think it's cool how he can basically take anything into his body and just like imagine if you were to train his ass off and he became so powerful that he could absorb even more, or it just would never like he could be able to keep it. I don't know. That's number 4. So for number 3, we're gonna do Bartolomeo, Bari Bari no Mi, or the Wall fruit. Now we all know this one. It's a paramecia type devil fruit that grants its user the ability to create barriers or force fields. The fruit was consumed by obviously Bartolomeo. We're not gonna talk about we're not gonna talk about the skank ass people that had it before him. Anyways, I just think this one is the perfect defensive devil fruit. Now, obviously, there are going to be things to counteract it and get past it and stuff like that. But it's just, for the simple fact, he could withstand a king punch and nothing's going to happen. Like, it's crazy. Like, it could withstand anything. Like, it's honestly the most. If Luffy had this guy, obviously, Bartolomeo would love to join the Straw Hats. But, he's part of the fleet. But if Luffy had him, there would be nobody that could stop him. Obviously, Shanks with the hockey and powerful hockey users, I get that. But I'm just saying, like, there'd be very few people that could stop my guy, especially if their main power source is devil fruits. Like, it's just crazy how, incredibly effective it is against anything. A king punch. Like, are we going to talk about this, people? He's crazy. But anyways, off that, I could talk about my boy Bartolomeo forever. So now, we're at number 2. This one is kind of, I'm not going to say it's controversial, but it's a blackbeard Yami no Mi, the dark fruit. So Yami Yami no Mi, also known as the Dark Fruit, is a Logia type devil fruit that was consumed by Teach, aka Blackbeard. The abilities of the Yami Yami no Mi include, but aren't limited to, because we don't know everything, darkness manipulation, and one of the most distinctive and dangerous aspects of the Yami Yami no Mi is its ability to nullify the powers of other devil fruit users. That's crazy. To just look at somebody like Ace, and be like, you know what? You don't have your powers anymore. That's crazy. Now, if you're a strong enough hockey user, this should be, like, it sucks, obviously, because, you know, devil fruits are a great source of strength, but just, if you're strong enough with devil fruit, or with your hockey, are you really worried about it? But another cool aspect of the Yami Yami no Mi is the ability to create a dark vortex that increases gravity, pulling everything into its vicinity towards it. The power is used during his battle against Whitebeard, and additionally, the darkness created by this fruit is often described as the ultimate offense and defense. Now, his power, unlike Wet Hair Caribou's, is he can do things like that Caribou can't. Like, Caribou can't nullify people. He can't just be like, you know what, you're not going to have a devil fruit this month. Sorry, and then take it away. So, in terms of ability, coolness, I don't really like the character because obviously we're supposed to hate the antagonist, but in terms of all the things that make something good or like popular, cool, whatever, this is number 2. Now, what we're going to talk about next, real quick, before we get to number 1. Now we have the honorable mentions. If I did my editing right, it should be a little thing. We're not going to talk about that. Anyways, so Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard, / Blackbeard for the Gura Gura no Mi, aka the Tremor fruit. It's a paramecia type devil fruit that grants its user the ability to create powerful shockwaves and vibrations, effectively allowing them to cause earthquakes. The devil fruit was consumed by the late Edward Newgate, commonly known as Whitebeard. And then after him, Blackbeard, which we still don't know how he did it. Still don't know. So a few things that, you know, Whitebeard can do with this devil fruit, or now Blackbeard. Earthquake generation, shockwave manipulation, and just total overall destruction. Like, if the Yami Yami no Mi is the perfect, or the ultimate offense and defense, this Gura Gura no Mi supersedes that in terms of offense. Like, there's nothing that this devil fruit can't do offensively. Now, it basically depends on how strong you are. So if somebody weak had it, then it wouldn't be obviously as good as it is. But this guy can cause tsunamis. In a world full of people who have devil fruit powers, tsunamis are like kryptonite. So just the fact that, you know, you can cause that at any given point whenever you feel like it, it's got to be an honorable mention. Next is Doflamingo's Ito Ito no Mi. Now, the Ito Ito no Mi, also known as the String fruit, is a paramecia type devil fruit that was consumed obviously by Don Quixote Doflamingo. This devil fruit grants its user the ability to create and control strings, proving a wide range of offensive and manipulative capabilities. Here are the main abilities associated with the Ito Ito no Mi. Now, string manipulation. First and foremost, can we talk about the fact that this guy was throwing string at the fucking clouds and flying? Like, that's honestly one of the craziest things to me when I saw that. I was like, so water's not something he worries about. If he can see a cloud, and it's not like these clouds were close together. He was flying. So I thought that was cool. He could do levitation. He could do a parasite. He can attach his strings to other people, controlling their movements like puppets. He can create a complex and powerful construct of strings that acts as a large and formidable puppet, capable of attacking with great strength. He can also do the parasite cage, the cage of threads, which we saw how potent it was against Luffy in Dressrosa. And then he can do the god thread, which was just his awakened ability, you know, and he was what he was times 10. So that devil fruit in the right hands, which Doflamingo obviously is the right hands. I mean, even though he's on the wrong side, is the right hands. So yeah, that definitely deserves an honorable mention. Now, this one's going to be kind of out there, right? But my next one is Perona's Horo no Mi. Now, listen. It's a paramecia type devil fruit. It's also known as the hollow fruit. This devil fruit grants its user the ability to create and manipulate ghosts, providing various offensive and defensive capabilities. Now, The main thing it's known for, so I'm not even going to get into all the jargon. The main thing it's known for is depressing your opponents. Now, as goofy, as corny, as quirky as it is, that is honestly a very powerful weapon. Now, think about it like this. Every person in this world has doubts. Every person in this world has things that they're always worried about, whatever. So if you amplify that times 100, 1,000, whatever, they're going to become lethargic and weak, and they're just not going to want that. If she honestly teamed up with Mihawk, nobody could beat the guy. If she teamed up with Mihawk to go against, let's say, Kaido, and, you know, she did her, you know, Horo, whatever, and it hit Kaido, Kaido would be depressed about the fact that he's not Joy Boy, the fact that, you know, he can't die, that he thinks he can't die, things like that. And then Mihawk just comes and takes care of business. Like, this is honestly it's a very powerful devil fruit, but it doesn't get the shine it deserves because of who owns the devil fruit. So I think that deserves an honorable mention. And the last honorable mention is the Magellan Doku Doku no Mi, also known as the Venom fruit. It's a Logia type devil fruit that was consumed by Magellan, the former Chief Warden of Impel Down. The devil fruit grants its user the ability to create, control, and become various types of poisons. Here are the main abilities. We're not worried about that. I'm not going to give you the whole rundown. Just know this guy, when he pulled out the blue eyes Venom Dragon, the 3-headed monster right there, the Cerberus of poison, that was wild. Like, honestly, and I love One Piece, I love Luffy so much, but Luffy had plot armor then. He should not have survived that guy. That Magellan against most people wins. Regardless of how you feel about it, his poison, just the fact that it can get rid of you in like a day's time, it should not, like, Luffy basically, Oda was like, yeah, Luffy can't die right now. We can't let that happen. So, just because of how strong it is, and obviously Magellan's strong himself, so just because of how strong it is, that's why I like the Magellan Devil Fruit, the Doku Doku no Mi, as my final honorable mention. Now, number one. Well, that's two. One. It's got to be the Nika Nika no Mi or the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Now, it's a Paramecia type devil fruit that was consumed by Monkey D. Luffy, the main protagonist of the One Piece series. This devil fruit grants Luffy the ability to stretch his body like rubber. Here are the main abilities associated with the Gomu Gomu no Mi, because we are not 100% sure what all capabilities we have with the Nika Nika no Mi. So, for right now, obviously we know how amazing Gear 5 is. Now, I was talking about this with somebody the other day. He was saying, oh, do you think they're going to give him like a power-up because, you know, he barely beat Kaido? And I'm like, well, listen, he only achieved Gear 5 because he was on the brink of, you know, of death, right? So, if he's able to control it at will, which I think we kind of got a glimpse at, and at the end of the last episode we saw, if he's able to control it at will, if he's able to harness the capabilities of it, and if he's able to basically use it for a long period of time, not something like 10 minutes, but use it, I don't think he needs a power-up. Now, what they might do instead of a Gear 6, because Gear 5 sounds perfect, right? Gear 5th. What I think they'll do is kind of like how Gear 4 had, you know, the subsets, you know, Snake Man, Tank Man, Bounce Man, stuff like that. I think they might, I'm not 100% sure because there's a lot of things up in the air, but they might give him like an extra one form, maybe even two forms that he learns against certain opponents. Maybe on Elbaf, he'll learn like the giant version of Gear 5. Like not even just making himself a giant, but like he'll start, I don't know. We'll see. He might start mixing his hockey with his Gear 5, and that'll turn into something. So we'll see. But that was my list. That was my top 5. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But anyways, that's it for this week. I might try a new format for my One Piece reviews on Sunday. Well, Monday. So I'll test it out, see how it goes. And if you like it, let me know. But yeah, be safe and well in your travels. Enjoy the journey. And just know, I will be the king of YouTube. Peace.